What's up, everyone? Alright. Cool. Freecam working? Nice. Alright, where were we? Last time, I think I was getting stomped by Juno. Let's go check out, Gelmer, though. I never finished up at... Whoops, I never finished... Go that way. Never finished up here. Town Church, guest... Okay, yeah. I need to... Let's look at incantations real quick, because I have pretty high faith, and my incantations are dookie. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'll take that. Over rejection, yeah. Can't use poison armament, so no. Viscous of Light is... You're cool. You can stay. Lightning Strike... Nah, Lightning Spear... Dope. Do we have any... for the support thingies? Okay, alleviating Death Blight buildup. I might do that instead of Bestial Vitality. Alright. Alright. Cycles. Rotations. It's all fairy dust. I don't know why I just got a bunch of Matthew McConaughey. I was sent some Matthew McConaughey lines in a divine intervention. You all just saw it. It's proof God exists. Okay. Lava slows. Nice try. Except, nah. Alright, so what are you guys slugging out over here about? Whoops. Okay, just rune. Oh, now I can do this. Well, can I? You? Nice. Didn't mean to do that one. Just wanted to check and see if I had that regen talisman equipped, and I do, because when I do have it equipped, I tend to not heal as much, which sometimes comes back to bite me, but usually it just means that I get to heal up a bit between fights, because it takes me a while to explore. It's one of my favorite exploration talismans, though. Like, if I'm going for a boss, gotta take that off, because I'm gonna get, like, what, 50 health over the course of that boss fight? But while I'm just walking around, it might be a while between fights, so maybe I'll, I guess it's not as valuable in this game where you can get the, like, you can recover flasks from killing groups of enemies? I don't know. Oh, am I only one-handing? That explains it. He says a magma worm down there. There's some other stuff I could do over there. Let's just move forward for now towards this church. Church of Iglay. Alright, so I just wanted to take a look at some of these patterns real quick. Oh, and this is what I was talking about in a previous stream. If you guys saw... Oh, I noticed their faces. So pale. They seem to have obsidian inlaid over the eye of their normal armor. But what's more is it also kind of looks it similar to like there's a gem that looks just like this that I think is on the god skin of apostle robes. It also kind of has this filigree around it that makes it look like a sun a little bit, in my opinion. So I do think that there's something going on here with like some sort of like black sun or dark sun or something like that. Eclipsed sun? Perhaps? Methinks? Alright, let's... Haha. Oh, that's gonna come back to bite me. I just insulted him, so now he's gonna... Looks like he's moving in slow motion. Is it? Are the Godskins? Are the Godskin duos? Is the Godskin duo faster? Because I fought them recently on my other save. That might be why. It feels like he's going so slow. Ooh. He's kind of close. Uh-oh. Oh, this is so not fair. Jesus Christ, what is going on? Okay. Thought I could get another heavy attack in there. Oh god. Oh, I got him. Okay. Oh, I just barely got out of the way of that one. Same with that one. Oh god. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, alright, alright. Let me tell you something, son. Wisdom don't come in a can. It comes in a tube. Let's just say I've got the tube. And you've got the can. Picking up what I'm putting down, amigo. I don't know, is that some weird shit Matthew McConaughey would say? You're probably right. Compadre. Maybe instead of amigo. Cool. Okay, what do we want? Strength. When do we... whatever. Okay, get the disgusting little sack. Serpent's amnion. Let's look at it real quick. Amnion from a womb that bore unintended offspring. Amnion from the mother's womb, which cradled the poor, unwanted offspring of a repellent birthing ritual. It will never dry out, remaining damp indefinitely. Which is interesting because water seems to have this connection with... I mean, mostly death. I guess mostly death. But there's also, I feel like, an unmistakable... I mean, it literally said, cradled the poor, unwanted offspring. Cradled. The Godskin Swaddling Cloth has a very similar kind of description, talking about how like the Glomide Queen cradled children in the cloth, the Godskin Swaddling Cloth. And you know, there's skin, and there was just a godskin in here, and what I'm trying to say is there's almost definitely a connection between serpents and the Glomide Queen, in my opinion. I mean, the very old Godskin nobles even have serpentine like tails, and the Godskin apostles stretch out like the man serpents do. Not that that's, I mean, that's not really as, you know, whatever. They can stretch. It's not like if they stretch, they're a snake. But the tail thing and all the stuff about skin, and you know, there's snakes shedding their skin and stuff like that. A lot of symbolism there, and like rebirth. There, I'm very sure of it, but it's one of those things that like, it's not, I don't know if there's like a ton of proof just beyond like it seems very likely. Like, I don't have a bunch of things I can point to, I guess, beyond what's in that room and everything I just pointed out. I guess that's not nothing. I don't know. I just don't want to be one of those guys that's like, I'm right. Yeah. And I know I'm right. Because I am. Because, like, you might not be, dude. And then you just look like a douchebag. Cool. Nope. Not cool. Alright, more spinning. We're doing more Beyblade stuff. Right. Ooh. Ah, I thought I could dodge it that time. Too slow. Oh, God. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm out of healing? Oh, I'm not out of healing. I pressed the wrong button, I guess. There we go. So there's kind of like a weird visual similarity between the lava here and like just the frenzied flame. If you kind of look at it, like the swirls of yellow and stuff. You know, maybe it's just swirly yellow stuff, and it just sort of inherently looks similar to the thing that's also yellow and swirly, but there is also an item here. The black dumpling? Black dumpling, yeah. It's the thing that's on the head of some of these Albinorics. It specifically boosts, like it, wait. I think it has something to do with madness. It, like, induces madness, or it increases the effects of madness, or something like that. Frenzy. God, I need to find that. Is it just like a drop, or... I think it's... I have it. I don't think it's a drop, though. Gotta find it somewhere. Anyway, yeah, I think there is some kind of link, maybe through like the concept of like despair. Despair kind of seems to be like a big theme. You know, his hexes could be fed by despair in some way. never mind. Let's just act like that didn't happen. Where? Oh. I think I need to talk to Raya. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Have you ever heard any strange sounds here at the manor?
Do you mean
Something
the
beyond
skeleton
the walls, like
skeleton snail
breathing
dudes, or
slithering scales?
yeah?
Oh, Fi, what am I saying?
You have good hearing.
It just isn't possible. I must be tired.
You have good hearing.
Sometimes, like,
Can I not give her the?
sometimes, like,
I can't give her the amnion. That's. Let me talk to her mom, maybe.
If you follow this, it cannot come.
I think that there's someone maybe that I need to murderize. We got Fargrim. We got those guys. Right? Yeah, I got Vargrim and what's his name? Oh, let me go. I don't think I actually gave me that assignment. I don't think I told them that I did it. I should have listened to what he was just saying. That's annoying.
I have the reward from Lady Tanith. Take it. It's yours, by right. Let us tread the path of the recusant together, till we reach the miserable death that awaits us.
So yeah, I think in a previous stream I was like, I saw this roiling magma and I was like, yeah, this is the thing I was thinking of. That was like implying Rykard made the volcano explode. Now this was actually, because it's literally called Gelmer's Fury, and it's about magma surging from the earth. And you know, also if you just like look at the map here, there's a huge like blackened crater here. Like I think this volcano exploded.
Perhaps I am of no. It's worth what an easy mark.
Okay, how do I get Raya to like, you know, progress?
If you follow, it cannot.
Is Juno the only one left? Do I have to get Juno? Okay, he's gone. Raya's gone.
Brave Tarnished, what is your business here? I'm afraid this is not a guest room. What's that peculiar look upon your face?
Have I not
Goodness,
had this conversation
am I still a
before?
serpent?
Jesus.
Oh, how dreadful. How dreadful indeed. Oh, forgive my distress. I ought to be thanking you for treating me as usual, despite this appearance. Brave Tarnished.
I just can't.
This
The fact that her
is my
eyes are
true
going
form.
like outwards
My real
to the
name
left and right.
Is Zarias.
Can you even see me right now?
Please forgive the deception. Do understand. This duplicity is my own doing. Lady Tanith speaks no
Like-
falsehoods. And the volcano manor is just as it seems. Lady Tanith, I am told I was born by the grace of a glorious king. That my mother cherishes this form I inhabit. I am proud of what I am. But people are cruel. If they saw my true form, they wouldn't speak to me. And so I assume a guise when seeking new recruits. But you are not like the rest. My serpentine are secrets. Known only now I share the secret. Please keep them safe.
All right.
My
She...
serpentine are secret.
Cool.
Now I share the. Please keep them.
I think that also means that, or the fact that her actual name is Zarias. Maybe that's supposed to, like, sort of be like, oh, her name doesn't start with an R. Then she's definitely not Reichard's. Okay, so she's not here, so probably where I was looking for her the first time. And Jarman, well, what's his name is now probably Jarman.
If you follow the it cannot. Did you see her? The girl, Raya, with her true face. Well, if she confided in you the name Zarias, then perhaps it is not my place to speak. But as her adoptive mother, I ask of you, please be kind to her. Look after young Zarias. Her true visage belies the purity of her heart. Honestly, I hardly deserve the sweet child. Please, her true
Okay. Let's see if she has anything else to say. Apparently I'm a little behind on some of these conversations.
If you follow, it cannot come.
Okay. So now she should be... if I go to the Temple of Iglay, I can use a shortcut to get back to where I was. And I can make a shortcut to get... Oh, let's open up a couple other shortcuts, actually. Whoopsie. Not that one. This one. Here, push this big-ass lever. Cool. Now we've got the ridge. And this brings you back, this can move you back and forth from the other side of Grace. What's it called? Prison Town Church, I think? Yeah. Okay, so that shortcut is good. Now we go this way. Does not move. Oh, I need. Ah, shoot! I needed to take the. Needed to take the elevator down once. I did not. Alright. I opened the door to the elevator. Yeah, not enough. Okay. Forgot about that. An item down? You! Okay. Some money. So yeah, I think that was whoa, 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 whoa. I think that was probably lava. That sort of lighter colored rock right there. That is all weird and sort of I mean, it looks liquidy. In fact, I've kind of wondered if that. I think there's a sort of tube formation, I want to say, of like lava coming out of one of these areas, and it's called like Volcano Cave, something weird. Yeah, okay, Volcano Cave, there it is. I think that's the one that the demigod, demi-human, queen is in. I already dealt with you. Ass. Okay, so that's not... where's the shortcut? Wasn't the shortcut I was thinking of. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this will take me to that shortcut, to the Temple of Eye. Whoopsie daisy. Oh crap. Oh god. Oh crap. Doesn't even matter though, because you know what? I touched the elevator. So, I touched base, so I'm safe. Cool. Where did my runes go? Wait, was that a... Oh, I forgot there's like a second... That's right. Got this back because I died. There's like a little... Oh, that might be where the black dumpling is, actually. Right. Stone sword key. Not exactly. Glowstones are awesome. It lit up this whole room. I thought that... Okay, well, let's open up another shortcut. That'll get us to wherever Raya might also be. Alright, now let's kill, turkey neck here. Whoa, whoa. Or, I guess, what? Lizard gizzard, man? Whoa, 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 I meant to... Yeah, there we go. Alright. Okay, so we have... This is not a shortcut. This takes me to an area that... I could fight Rykard right now, but I'm not going to do that because... I need the shortcut. I would like the shortcut. It's also really easy... It's really easy to, like, look past the shortcut. Or overlook it, I mean. Oh, whoops. And Serpent Ashes? Okay, cool, cool, cool. I actually wanted to look at these recently. Forgot to. Spirit of a deformed man-serpent that wields a whip of magma. It is said that long ago, the Elder Serpent that dwelled on Mount Gilmer devoured a demigod, and the birth of the man-serpents followed. So, the serpent swallows Rykard. Rykard decides to start turning... I don't know if it's because Rykard is consuming people, and then they become the man-serpents. or I don't totally understand the ritual, I guess, that what the hell's going on here. Because it's possible, it's really possible that whatever they're doing is just involved, like, they just use this amnion thing. Like, I have the, or the idea seems to be that, oh god. Cool. That's also interesting. It was able to cast magic. I mean, I guess, like, it's not strange for an Albinor to be able to cast magic, but most of the ones here are too crazy to even, like, to do anything. It's interesting that he was able to kind of keep his sanity. Survive this fall. Yeah. Whoops. Okay, there we go. One more. Alright. So this isn't quite the shortcut that I thought it was, that I remembered it being. That is okay. Reveal Knight's Resolve. Let's check that out. Skill of the Knights who once served the Elden Lord. Hold the flat of the armament to your face. Pledge your resolve, greatly powering up your next attack. What's it called again? So it's in my brain. Royal Knight's Resolve. Cool. So yeah, this
Hello again.
is that area near Patches,
Emporium.
which is dope. You have anything you want? Not really.
Try to find it.
Whatever, dude. Okay, I want to say that there's something interesting in here. Like, yes, right here, actually. This portrait of Rykard with a chair sat right in front of it. Rykard does not look normal here. I think that this is the only portrait of Rykard that looks like this. He has this, like, sort of disheveled look. It looks unhappy. I don't know. Something about this picture and the way that it's set up, like, it feels weird and important. It's like Tanith comes to, like, look at that portrait or something for some reason. Why that one, when there's a portrait of him right behind her, like, all the time? I thought it was gonna open the... I'm pretty sure it's going to charge at me soon and try to scoop me up or whatever it does. There you go. Whoops. God, can I stagger this thing? Is that possible? Ooh. That's too bad. I just could not stagger that, dude. I guess that's fine, though. Okay. So, yeah, let's find Raya, though, because we... She's still in her room? It's not here. Oh. Oh, I got the rooms mixed up.
Oh,
What's up, Garfield?
it's you. Forgive me. My mind never ceases to churn of late.
Just talking to
Well,
Miss
I know
Snake
I can
Posture
trust
here.
you. I saw something slithering in the pitch black of night. It entered the room next to this one and never came out. If I'm not mistaken, it took the form of a serpent, just like me. Does the Volcano Manor hide some secret that Lady Tanith has kept from me? I realize that I shouldn't impose.
Any
but
slitherers?
if you discover anything, would you please share?
It is kind of interesting to me. Why?
Oh, so there was a secret after all.
Why her,
my
I guess, you know?
Lady
Did Tanith just
my
choose
own mother has
a
deceived me.
random
Was I not born by the grace
serpent
of a
to
king?
adopt? Or is she like, is it rare for for serpent women to exist?
What is this? I remember this scent distinctly. Funny, isn't it? I am certain of
Okay,
it.
so it is something, I
I
think,
was born
that is
inside
reused
this.
to create
It's
man
a
serpents.
part of my birth, Mother. You have my gratitude. Thanks to you, I am no longer afraid. I want to know
Or maybe
how I was born.
there's
and
just an
met
ambion
Lady
around
Tanith.
all of the serpent men
One
that are
day,
born. Maybe?
I hope to call her mother once again.
I don't know.
This time from the bottom of my heart.
'Cause I think that it's probably like the amnion is reused, sort of like the godskin swaddling cloth.
I want to know how I was born
Me too.
and met Lady Tanith.
Me too,
One
sis.
day, I hope to call her mother once again. This time from the bottom of my heart.
Alright, so... Will she leave the... This is not her room. Again, not her room. Will she leave the item here? Will... Oh, that's right. She's gonna go over somewhere else and be like...
You still...
I don't want to be around anymore. Okay.
Well,
Now let's go talk to... I want to keep saying Dio. Is his name Dio? It's not Dio. The, potentate guy. Potentate, whatever. Kind of confused about the amniotic sac, because they also imply... Datakar was the mother of the Serpent Men. So was it Datakar's amniotic sac? You know, it's possible. I hate this, but it's possible that it's both. I mean, you know, I don't want to... They could have used any kind of method, but it's super possible that there was some sort of method of, like, okay, grafting the amniotic sac into another person. I don't remember what Data Cars Woe said entirely, but yeah, I remember it said she gave birth to all manner of beasts. I don't know if that's just because she was willing to, like, do whatever, but I guess the answer to that question is probably yes, for a couple different reasons. Alright, so we're almost at Jarburg. But yeah, I think it's... I think it's possible that the amniotic sac was still... Like, a woman might have still been involved in the birth of a man's serpent using the amniotic sac somehow. Whether grafting or something else, I don't know. But yeah, it could very much be both. Alright. Thank God, okay. That can be very tricky. Quick nap here. Alright. Cracked bunch of flowers and shit. Ritual pot. More flowers. A lot of stuff. 2 cracked pots here. Alright. Forgot about that. Cracked pot. 3 cracked pots. Alright. Where is... what's his name? He's over here, right? Junior Jar Man? Jar Junior?
Hello, Cuz. What are you doing here? I didn't think anyone knew about this place. Except us Jars. Ah. Are you going to be the new potentate? Oh. Well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Cuz. Gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
Truly.
I thought you'd look at my hands and tell me no anyway.
That's wonderful news. It's not easy being potentate, though. I know. Show me your hands. It's just a little test, Cuz. To see if you've got the right stuff. Your skin isn't so smooth.
Skin
is it?
again.
You need slick, slidey hands to be potentate, you know? I'm sorry, Cuz. But I don't think you've got what it takes. What a shame.
See, that makes me wonder if it's like you can only
Don't look so
mend
glum,
the
Cuz.
jars if you
We can
haven't
still chat. Potentate or
taken
not,
life,
come back and visit me. When you can.
or if you're not like burdened by like all kinds of like hardships or whatever.
Don't look. We can still come back and
I'm
visit.
not sure. I'm gonna need to remember. I'm gonna need to see what else they say here. I remember a lot of this quest is just gonna be me going over to that site of grace and resting, and then coming over here to talk to him.
Oh, hello again, Cuz. I'm happy you came back. I have good tidings for you, Cuz. Have you noticed the rare flowers growing in this village?
Yeah.
I asked the villagers if you could pick some of them, and they said you'd be very welcome.
Thanks.
Go on, Cuz. You really should pick some of our flowers.
I
Who knows?
don't know how to say this, but I
They might be
already
of some
did.
use.
Guess I'll do it again. They all probably grew back. I I think it's like their jars, so their lord is a potter, and to be a good potter, you want slick, slidey hands to make nice, smooth pots. But I think it's like more metaphorical than that, because like sometimes he refers to his hands as being like smooth, as in like, you know, because he's sort of never had to like do anything. Like the way that he refers to his hands makes it seem like it has something to do with like his actual actions, like it's
Go
like a
on,
metaphor
Kaz.
for like
You
what
really
he's done.
Who knows?
Or his armor does, or something like that. I remember that there's something about the dialogue that kind of has deeper implications. Or I guess I don't remember, but I think.
Ah, hello again. Say, Cuz, have you met Uncle Alexander?
Yeah.
He used to live here with us, but then he left to be a champion. I asked to go with him, but he said, the path of champions must be trod alone. So heroic, right? I miss him, though. If you see him, you should ask him to teach you how to fight, Cuz. He's big and tough and strong.
What's up, Rancid Nanners?
Uncle Alexander said he won't be back again.
I wonder how they
My
leave
home
this
is of
place.
the past, and the past, as they say,
Like, do they climb out?
is a different country.
I suppose that's part of being a warrior, isn't it? So,
My
please
home is in the
don't tell
past.
anyone, Cuz.
And the past is a
But
different country.
I'm actually a warrior jar as well. One day, I'll be just like Uncle Alexander. Then I'll have to leave
Dead.
the village to become a champion. Uncle Alexander won't...
My home is of the past, and the past, as they
I suppose that's...
He's so cute. Yeah, I love Jar Baron as well. It's so great how they get a new potentate, and then everything is just fine, and the quest ends, and they're all happily ever after. I love that about this quest. And how everyone is okay
Ah, hello again.
forever after.
Do you know what a poacher is, Cuz?
No.
They hunt us, smash us, and then take us away.
No.
This village is kept secret, so I think we're safe here. But
Yes,
you should
never
be
ever speak
careful
of
if
bad
you
things
ever meet
again.
One of them, Cuz. I hope Uncle Alexander beats them all up.
Dialos,
first.
that's right. I kept thinking his name was Dio, and I'm like, that's not right.
Those awful poachers. I hope Uncle Alexander beats them all up.
Doesn't really seem to target poachers much at all.
Those awful...
I don't think I hear Alexander talk about poachers one time. Am I forgetting? I don't know. Guess it's like doesn't have to talk about them. JoJo's or Ronnie James on the...
Oh, hello again, Cuz. Have you heard?
Oh.
A new potentate's
Is he here?
come to the village. I think he said his
Where are the
name
poachers
was
again? The
Dialos.
poachers are
He seems a little down in the dumps. but
the
his
depraved
hands
perfumers
as
and the
smooth as
omen killers.
silk. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed, actually. Even though good Sir Dialos has a wonderful suit of armor, he says he isn't a warrior. And since he's a coward, he won't be fighting anymore. His smooth and silky hands feel nice when he pats us. But I wish we had a potentate big and strong like you. Dialos is, but I wish we...
Alright, let's go see what he has to say. But yeah, generally speaking, the people that go out of their way to, like, kill things for their pieces and use them for potions or perfumes or whatever, like, it's gonna be the omen killers and the depraved perfumers. The same kinds of people that you'll find in the Albinoric village, because the Albinorics, they were being poached. They were being poached
Well,
for their blood, I
onion full of
guess.
beans. No wonder you're covered in muck.
No wonder you're covered in muck.
Oh, my friend, it's been far too long. I have to say you caught me at a rather low point. But as you see, I've put all that behind me. Left the Volcano Manor, forging my own path now, making my own choices. Even a fool like me can look after some simple jars. Do you pity me? Well, don't. I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm on the straight and narrow. A fool I may be, but I can look after some simple jars. Do you pity me?
Alright. So glad that everything is great. But is that really just like the end of the quest? Like, does something else happen? I want to say that the next time I come back here, it's just going to be bad, right? Okay. Still alive.
Dialos is smooth, but I wish we had...
I might have to leave and come back. Whoops. Did not mean to drink that, but that's fine.
A fool I may... Do you pity me?
That's not good. If I have to reload the whole area... does not bode well. Okay. You're alive. We're all alive. Are we?
No wonderful, Dialos.
Sleeping? Whoops.
No wonderful, Dialos. So smooth, silky. So
Are there any other, like reference to smoothness or anything like that in the game? Or, like, smoothness of hands, smooth, rough? I guess there are the finger readers? But... they don't really talk about...
A fool I may... Do you pity me?
Dialos's smooth and silky hands feel nice when he pats us. But I wish we had a...
Okay. It's gotta be something I'm missing. Is Dialos...
A fool I... Do you pity me?
Okay. Let me try reloading the area one more time and seeing if that helps. I'm wondering if it's, like, tied to the Gelmer questline at all, where it's like, I have to kill Rykard and then the quest progresses. Nope. God damn it. Well...
Oh, Cuz, I'm glad you came. But we're fine now. Dialos fought the poacher, though quite a lot of us got broken. I won't cry, though. I'm a warrior jar. A warrior. The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood. That's the kind of warrior I want to be one day, Cuz. Even if I'm scared, I'll still fight to protect everyone. The tale. That's the kind of. Even if I'm.
Okay. So now what does he have to say?
You. Are the jars? Are they all right? Did I defend them?
Sure, buddy.
Then all is well. This fool proved his worth. In the end.
Give me your armor. Now I get the armor? Oh, that's right. I forgot that he does that. Starts to put...
The tale of House Hoslow
Start to
is
put,
told
like,
in
Dialos
blood.
into
That's
himself?
the kind of warrior I'm going. One who protects everybody. The tale. That's the kind one who.
I guess that makes sense. That's the kind of warrior I'm gonna be, and then he... Does he eat him? I mean, I guess, you know, just have a mouth. Does he just kind of like stuff him in the pot, or like how the hell does that work? So does he act different now?
Thanks for coming back, cuz. I've been thinking. It's time for me to set out on a journey.
Sort of.
As a warrior jar. Upon the path of champions.
Same way Alexander eats Radon's corpse. Yeah, no, because also it's implied that like they gain like courage and stuff from it. I think that's why Alexander, you know, he says Radon hit him once, and it knocked him open, sent his guts flying, and I think that and then he ran away. I think that's because, you know, he had a bunch of champions inside him. He's kind of their kind of courage and strength and experience is his, in the same way that like we can get that like knowledge from ashes of war. So I think that when those bits of champions got knocked out of him, he like literally lost their courage. Like the guts were literally knocked out of him in a couple ways.
I'm about to go on a journey. As a warrior jar.
But yeah, I think that
in
they
search of
can,
glory.
by kind of taking in stronger and stronger warriors, or just by, maybe that's part of the jar process. They the reason they're sentient is because like they are evaluating warriors that are like worthy of being absorbed, maybe? I don't know.
I'm about to go on as a warrior jar.
Oh, that's right, I need to go get his armor. Right, so Jar Baron isn't like inheriting Dialos' ambition or something. Yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, it's pretty Newman's rune. Okay, that's interesting. That Dialos drops a Newman's rune. Feels like it's not irrelevant. I don't know how I've never noticed that. Wow. What the hell does that mean? Okay, so... What the hell I didn't... Yeah, same. That is... a lot of information to process all of a sudden. I totally forgot about that. I don't think I've done this quest for a long time. Didn't I get his helmet? Or something? Am I not... Oh, that's it right there. Blah. So yeah, I guess when he said, that's the kind of warrior I want to be, when he was talking about Dialos, that was kind of like literally what he meant. Like, I'm going to... Like maybe he was saying, like, I'm choosing Dialos as, like, the warrior I'm going to consume to be like him. or a warrior to consume, so I can be like him. Gonna consume lots of warriors, I guess. Maybe that's probably what the path of champions is for the jars. Path of eating champions. Okay, so we reload this area. Is it just what's his name? Little jar kid saying, "I want to leave." Just want to make sure in case he's got something else for me. Oh, and I got the whip too, right? Forgot about that. Metal whip formed of razor-sharp chain-link blades that have the appearance of flower petals. This work of art is handed down through the generations of the illustrious House Hoslow. High dexterity is required to wield this weapon, but it excels at inflicting devastating blood loss. The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood. Whip that for a sec. I haven't looked at that in a hot minute. Okay, so 3 red gemstones along the front. The fact that it's silver feels significant. There's all the flowers. The only other person with a flower theme I can think of is White Masquevari right now, and that's for a whole other reason. I don't think they're related. Okay.
Oh, no, I haven't changed my mind. I'll begin my journey once I'm ready to go, as a warrior jar.
Alright. That's probably all he has left to say, right? Yeah, that probably. Okay. We're good. I think... Actually, well, let's go kill Juno Hoslow before we do too much, because I don't want to, kill Rykard and then miss out on whatever maybe this opportunity to get his stuff would go away. So yeah, these ruins, I believe, are the ruins of whatever civilization made the golems. I think I've said that in a couple past streams. And I'm pretty sure that's why you can... These golems are almost always found very, very close to these ruins. I want to say that's correct. Usually like right next to them. Same as the Ruin-Strewn Precipice. And... well, they're all over, honestly. Their ruins are all over. Like the place that we start. I mean, it's also the civilization that made the catacombs. And I'm pretty positive it wasn't the Erd Tree champions, because like they use sorcery, like, and I don't I think the catacombs would have been built in a time before Radagon and Marika were united, which is like the only time I think sorcery would have really been associated with the Erd Tree at all. Alright. Whoops. Damn. Alright. Uh-oh. Wow, if he had actually attacked me there, I think I would have died. I think this is it. Yes. Alright, so we get the rest of the suit. Are you connecting the Giants' architecture to the catacombs because of how golems and watchdogs react to crystal darts, or is there something else? So yeah, I don't know if this is Giant architecture, if I'm being honest, but it is. This architecture, I think, is. The goal. I think that anything that reacts to the crystal darts that way was made with a crystal dart, and they are considered golems. And that's just these guardian golems, burial watchdogs, and imps. They say giant because IDK. What else to call it? Yeah, same, I guess. But the giant, like the architecture of like stuff like the giant's forge, and it is actually like, you know, it matches stuff that's on the divine towers, but it's actually not really similar to these kind of structures at all, in my opinion. Like it's almost like a completely different civilization. So I don't think the giants built these. I think giants could have built these. I don't think the fire giants built these. Okay. So yeah, this architecture is pretty much everywhere near like where golems are. It is all over the lands between. I wanted to say there was like I had other reasons for kind of connecting that stuff, but yeah, basically. I don't think that the Erd Tree like the whole story about the catacombs were built around the roots of the Great Tree because whatever. Like I think that they were built around the roots of the Great Tree by people that might have worshipped like the Great Tree, like the tree they were trying to connect. They were building their roots around, basically. And I think that civilization used sorcery, and because the burial watchdogs can. Like it wouldn't make sense for like if the Erd Tree. I don't exactly know when the catacombs were built, but they would have had to have been built like after Radagon married. They would have had to have been married after Radagon married Marika, and the watchdogs are like called really, really like ancient. I think their sorcery is called ancient. And like Radagon marrying Marika was like, I don't know, I feel like it's like one of the last things on the timeline. He's like the last Elden Lord, pops in at the end and he marries Marika, and then everything just goes bad. Well, after he has twins with her. After she has his whatever. They had kids. Am I wrong, or is that type of architecture mostly found in the mountaintops? It is found everywhere. So it's here, just like just flat. Let's go around for a couple examples real quick, because like it would shock you. The first step, literally the first place we start at. I just walk over here a little bit to the water. If we look at the water over here, there we go. All that, same architecture. All of this, like, same exact stuff. Like, exactly the same. So you got some here. There's an onyx, there's an alabaster lord right there. It is here. Like, I get it's everywhere, but is it mostly concentrated in the north? I don't think so. Like, it's literally just all over. And it's like big, big structures all over. Like, a lot of ruins. Wherever they are. Yeah, there's this part here. See how quickly I can get out of here. Ravine Vale Village, not where I meant to go, but yeah, there we go. And I hope it's not still raining. Cool. Yeah. And once again, exact same architecture, like same symbols, same designs and everything. And the interesting thing about the ruin-strewn precipice that is worth, like, very notable, it was excavated from both sides at the same time. So, I don't know what that means, but it's significant. Oh, also, I think that the, like, bat people that you can hear right now are possibly connected to these ruins because they are also almost everywhere that they are. Like, usually right next to them or something, or in very close vicinity. A lot can be found inside, like, dungeons and stuff, too. Yeah, so I think that whoever they were, they had a, like, widespread presence all over the lands between. Don't know who they were, though. And the symbols on their, like, on their architecture are so vague. I don't know what they're trying to, like, depict. So, like, I don't even know who or what they are trying to depict or what they're interested in or what they're worshipping or whatever. Oh, true. I'd assume the ruin-strewn precipice was just Rykard sneaking up to Gelmer without using the lift. Oh yeah, no, it was built. I don't know how long ago. I guess. I wonder. Yeah, actually, I wonder if it's worth wondering whether it was built before or after the lift of Dectus, because we don't actually know. Like, I feel like you could assume it was built after, but I mean, what if that was, like, the original way up, you know?
I see that you've stayed the path of champions. This is your usual reward.
Oh, that's interesting. She also
Please.
calls it the Path of Champions.
Take it. Perhaps you are ready. Might
Same
you see
thing
our
that the
Lord?
Warrior Jar calls
Our
the
Lord will no doubt
journey
welcome
they
him.
take.
Another
I
kindred
bet he will.
spirit, treading the path of champions,
Yeah, let's go
Yes.
see your lord.
as it should be. Now, close your eyes for a moment. I will transport you to the Lord's chamber. Farewell, then.
Wait a second. Okay, Dialos's connection to this is intentional. Like, let's think about all the weird similarities between, like, Jars and Rykard right now. They're both looking for power. Like if we can just compare what just happened to us with what the little jar baron guy did. They waited until they found a champion that was worthy. then they consumed him all along the path of champions. Like, they both did the exact same thing in that regard. And I feel like the fact that Dialos was here and involved in this, uh, super duper relevant. I don't know how at all. Just had this thought, but like, what the hell? I never would have connected like jars to the serpent, but now I feel like that's kind of what like the point of Dialos is in a way. Oh yeah, this is one of very few weapons that so yeah, it talks about like the Great Serpent Hunt unique skill like creates a blade of light, but it also surrounds itself in wind, which is kind of weird. I think it could have something to do with Stormveil and like the fact that maybe like the original Serpent Hunter was designed by people that, you know, were allied with the True Storm. I was talking about this on stream the other day. Do you think it's just like that? God. Are you kidding me? Asshole. Reichard's little face. Blech. Yeah, what's interesting is Dialos' part in that, like... So if... I wonder if Tanith could be compared to Dialos in a way that it's like, you know, requiring sort of like soft hands to like, to turn, to soothe the warrior jars or something like that, or to heal the warrior jars. I don't totally understand what his role was as like potentate. Was it potentate, whatever the hell, potentate? Was it just to create like? Was it just to protect the jars? He said it was like about patting them and like rubbing them or whatever. So maybe it was just about sort of like. Oh, what's her name? The warmth, Fia. I wonder if it has something to do with that, like transferring some kind of, because the jars are meant to be better than the warriors within or something, is what something says. So I almost wonder if it's like the jars receive this kind of kindness from a potentate that ensures they are better than than like the things within them. Like the exterior is going to be a good person, which is the exact opposite kind of what happened with the serpent. The exterior here is the serpent. It's, you know, it's gonna consume stuff, but ultimately, and it might be changed by the things that it consumes, but ultimately it's a serpent. Whatever. Okay, after I died this time, I'm gonna go upgrade this weapon. Then we'll see who... I'll kill you, man. Okay. What are we doing here? I forgot that it can spit poison. I feel like that sort of lends a little bit of credence to the idea that, like, all that stuff that I've said is connected might actually be connected. With, like, Poison and Rod and the Formless Mother and the Soyben. Basically, when it comes to regression, things that concern the law of regression, I think that the Formless Mother might be involved. So that's Rot, that's the Serpent, that's Three Fingers. Oh my god, clear your throat, dude.
Very well. Join myself and King as remedy. Together we will devour the very god.
Yeah, so if you think about it, the Serpent is actually kind of like a giant warrior jar. Jesus Christ. So that blade is just, like, made of, like, all the same kinds of... made of very similar kinds of, like, people that a jar would consume. Except they seem to be suffering in a way that... I don't know, maybe they didn't, like, die all the way or something? I don't seem to... Like, they're... It's almost like they're being swallowed alive. So they become just, like, part of this life force, and they stay tormented. Like, their minds join, not just their bodies. Maybe, like, their souls too, I don't know. Well, I guess their minds already kind of join in, like, the pot as well, the jars, because, you know, it affects the jars.
Now we can devour God together.
Talking about flesh amalgams. Wait, what are flesh amalgams? Together. Because the word amalgam is really interesting to me, because just because of the fact that, like, oh, any amalgam of flesh, jars, and record, like, gotcha. I didn't know if that was, like, something that was, like, a term in the game. I'm pretty sure, like, in actual, like, the term amalgam is, like, specific to, like, a mixture of gold and something else. Yes. Cool. Audience pathway, let's do it to it. Jars and but see, like, I'm not... Yeah, no, I mean, I do think that there is some kind of, like, gaining... Because something I also... Yeah, I looked it up. The first use of amalgam was basically a stand-in for alloy. Gotcha. Something else I mentioned recently was, like, I think that it's even possible for, like... You mentioned amalgams. Yeah, so I guess that is pretty much any force of progression, right? But even, yeah, like grafting, I think, if we can get information, if we can get skills and knowledge from burned remains of a person, then it would make sense that connecting a piece of a person to you would give you some kind of strength also, or some kind of knowledge. Like, it's connecting the idea that, like, the body contains, you know, your knowledge and, I guess, rather than just your brain. I think that is something I might have talked about in one of my videos before, because, I think that it's possible that the whole, like, removal of death might have just been, like, more of, like, a sort of inseparability between the mind and the soul. Like, or, like, between, yeah, basically, I think is what I kind of saw it. It might have been, like, I don't remember. It's been a minute since I've thought about that. Like how grafting Liquid Snake's arm onto a revolver ocelot made him act more like Liquid Snake. I don't know if you played any Metal Gear Solid. I've played a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm aware of that though. The whole, like, and the Solidus and all that, blah blah blah, Liquid Ocelot, or Jesus. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever thought of this before, but that Kojima guy is pretty crazy. I don't know if I'll be the first one to say it, but he's a little weird. Characters who are referred to as champions: us, Alexander, and Radagon. Off the top of my head, massive theme in the From games is the accumulation of power, which usually means conquest, leading on others. Why? Oh, also I need to... Oh, damn. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Heal, everyone. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm being chased by demons! It's just like my nightmares get real. Okay. We lived, bitch. Okay. Damn.
Now we can devour God together.
Okay. Accumulation of power, it's usually... The reason we do this is because the big boss doesn't want to consume 1,000 little guys, they want to consume one big guy. So conquest and being a champion is kind of shorthand for becoming basically a living compost bin, soul's power, for lack of a better term. I very much agree with that, yeah. Like with gathering the like embers of like fallen lords or whatever in and that's actually something very okay. I talked about something really similar to that recently with Godric. I think that Godric is a commoner. Like, I think that commoners are possibly like because of their proportions. I think that they could be like Newman that are like super diluted blood, and that's why they're like gray, like colorless, basically. It's almost like you can imagine it like gold losing its luster over time. They are just commoners are like they're very distant from America, but they are relatives of hers. So they technically have a minuscule claim to the throne. I think that, like, similar to how in other Dark Souls games there's that theme of like might and power makes you worthy of lordship, it gives you the right to lordship. Basically, by grafting other people onto himself and becoming stronger, Godric is strengthening his right to godhood, to demigodhood even. And he elevated himself from a status of commoner to demigod just by like earning it through other people's strength being grafted onto him. It's kind of how I always saw that. But I think it is super possible that Godric is just a commoner. Christ Almighty. Oh, God is not here, my friend. God has nothing to do with this. Damn, way too early. I'm gonna get my runes, and then I think I need to come back for a sec, because my brain is in some sauce, but it's not this sauce. I need to get my brain in the right sauce. Also, where the hell are my runes? Okay. Record stage theme is so... Oh, you said got hit with an ad right before your response. Didn't I don't know if I basically took so long to say it that you ended up hearing it anyway, or if you still need me to repeat my answer to something. But yeah, if you can just, I guess, let me know what it is you didn't hear the answer to, I can answer it again. Damn. I was pretty sure that I dodged in time for that, but I'll go ahead and say that the game... Actually, I'm also going to look at... I'm going to fight him again because I want to look... I'm going to use the Freecam to look at his model real quick, because it's actually really cool. Just saw something that reminded me to look. Didn't hear the response to if you knew anything or played Metal Gear Solid. Yes, I know a little bit about Metal Gear Solid. I've played a couple of the games, but I'm somewhat familiar with, like, you know, Solidus, Liquid Ocelot, blah, 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 blah. I had a friend who knew a lot about it, and I osmosised a bit of it. Kind of like my WWE knowledge. Like, I know a little bit about the WWE. never ever seen a single, like, I've never ever watched a single WWE match, but like, I know shit about them now because he did. My college roommate, so it's just, we ended up talking about it. But I've played, like, I played the original Metal Gears because I hate myself. And then I played Metal Gear Solid 1. And I don't think I finished 2. No, I finished 2. I'm at the very beginning of 3. I never, I just kind of, I never played 3 for some reason. Okay, let's look at this model. Okay. So, yeah, all the hands and stuff, gross. You can also see, the other half of, like, the shed snake skin here. Or rather, that he is shedding this skin, off the back end here. Yeah, I guess you can also kind of see, it looks like he's been, I don't know if he's, like, bursting at the seams or whatever, because he's eaten so many people that their hands are, like, coming out, or if it's like he's been cut open and the hands are reaching out of, like, cuts, but I don't know, I like to think of the first one, I guess. It makes him, really enforces how greedy he is. Like, he's eating so much his body can't even, like, hold everything in. So let's look at his head real quick, too, because, like, the weird kind of, like, crown thing around his head has always kind of been interesting to me. I mean, I guess it's just whatever, scales or something, but... Damn it. Oh, I need to stop doing that. I'm running out of stamina because I'm being greedy. What didn't you... Likening Metal Gear Solid knowledge to wrestling knowledge is surprisingly apt. Watch out, watch out, watch out! I definitely think that's possible about Godric being a commoner. I think Godric is 100%... I think Godric is 100% related to a descendant of the Golden Lineage, but it's so distant that it doesn't actually make a difference. Right, yeah. Like, he's... Because I don't think... That whole thing about the demigods claiming their great runes or whatever, I don't know... I don't think they went and physically obtained a piece of the Elden Ring. If anything, I think that could have been, like, a metaphor for them becoming strong enough to earn demigod status, but, like, the fact that, like, Morgoth's Great Rune is proof of his lineage, and the fact that he is the rightful heir to Lindell means that who you are, your identity, is represented in your Great Rune. So it's not random. Makes me think about all the feeble nobles wandering the lands between, like they're nobles because they're also distantly related or something. Yeah, and there's also even something that's like putrid corpses or something, and if you read the putrid corpse spirit ashes, the last line just says, "True death does not come easily to them." I've even considered that it might be possible that Grace made everyone just, like, a teeny tiny bit of a demigod, and that's why, like, you know, everyone was like so happy and no one died. Like maybe everyone is just teeny tiny, has like fractions of godhood, like that might be what Grace is, but I don't know, that feels more like a sort of speculative, usually what's it? Schmack. Schmack. Oh, poke. Poke. Your dumb little feet. Whoops. Poke. Cool. Okay, so I've always fixated on the part where he says serpent never dies, but I think that it's really, really important, and something I've never really thought about, is the fact that he says, no one will hold me captive. I mean, I'm sure that he's just saying, like, death will not hold me, but it's interesting that he worded it that way. No one will hold me captive, rather than something like, I will not be held captive, or something. It's like he personified death. A serpent never died. He didn't die, though, because, you know, he's still... The head is somewhere around here. It'll be here when we come back for some reason. 3 is probably a favorite. I think Godric, maybe like one generation closer than the commoners we see, but still feeble enough to have to start crafting. Can't remember, but I think he may have those cuts with arms coming out even before phase 2, maybe implying it's a result of gluttony. Right, so Godric was on Ancestry.com and found out he was 1/16th gold boy and would not shut up about it. Well, it's possible that, like, you know, I don't think Godric was the only one who had that idea. There's the other Godfrey guy or whatever. It's possible that, like, Godric was just one of the only ones we saw. Like, there could have been a whole bunch of members of the Golden Lineage, several commoners maybe or something, that, like, started grafting Tarnished onto themselves as they came into the Lands Between to try to make a desperate bid for the Elden Ring. What's up, last protagonist? Doesn't mean true death, just means truly difficult for them to die. Oh, gotcha.
I must thank you.
Like he's imprisoned by the serpent? Well, it's almost like more like he's imprisoned by death, because he said, you know, I won't be contained, no one will hold me captive, a serpent never dies. Like, sort of saying, like, I won't be contained by death.
I must stay the path.
That one.
And do my part.
Totally looks still alive. Is decapitated being in... Well, I think that alive in this game is not the same thing as able to move around and talk.
I will leave the volcano. I suggest
like,
I don't... The champion who walked. I always walk.
I don't think that Scarlet Rot can kill things. I think that Scarlet Rot breaks apart living things, keeping them alive, breaks them down into, like, living pieces, and then just rearranges those pieces, however, and makes new things. Which is why it like, gets around the Golden Order, because it's just rebirth. I think it's rebirth with no death. It's just making stuff. Cycles. Over and over. Fairy dust. Or what? Cycles. Rotations. I don't remember the whole quote. Revolutions. Also, other demigods that are dead before we got here. Yes, true. Scarlet Rot just turns you to goop. Yeah, living goop. Life
So,
goop. Turns you into life soup.
You killed Rykard.
Just offering an alternative on his
harbor
death
you
dialogue
no
could be
ill will.
referring to being a captive to the Golden Order or
The
gods in
strong
general,
take.
as imprisonment is often used as a
Such is
metaphor
our
for being under
code.
the influence of a god.
Even he was prepared to meet a wretched
That's
end
fair,
when
yeah.
he first took blasphemy unto his very flesh. But any road the volcano
Like, I will be
man
free
knows
of the
no
Golden
more.
Order, because the
Though
serpent
we
will
may
never be
yet
able to be
fulfill
stopped
an
or whatever.
old
Like, I will
promise.
achieve my
We
goals.
hunted our own kind and took what was theirs. And with everything in hand, the time has come to rise against the Erd Tree.
There's also, okay, you know, he says hunting our own kind, and we're talking about Godric and commoners potentially grafting. Godric was specifically grafting Tarnished to his body, I think. He grafted a troll to his body as well, but Tarnished were what he was looking for. Gideon specifically says several times, very adamant about this, a man cannot kill a god. A mere man cannot kill a god. A mortal can't kill a god, basically. So I have to wonder if the reason Marika sent the Tarnished away was because they are not mortals. I mean, we don't die, so clearly we're not, like, mortal in that sense, but, like, I really am thinking if, like, maybe she sent us away because we are beings, for whatever reason. Maybe we are demigods or something, but maybe we are capable of killing gods, and that's why she sent us away. If, you know, also, if we're the last thing that can kill gods that are around, that actually would make a lot of sense. Like, she eliminated death, and we're the only things left that can kill her. That, if, you know, maybe we were killing all the other gods already. The Tarnished, I mean. I think the fact that it doesn't actually kill you is why Miyazaki was like, you do not want Scarlet Rot. Yeah, because it's like...
We refuse to become your pawns.
Because it's like, you don't die. You really just feel it, writhe around and pull you apart, I guess. So, and that, I think that also explains why a demigod, like the demigods, they could never do anything about it, even in the height of the Golden Order. It's just because, you know, they are, if they can't die, then it doesn't really matter. Like, you can still die by having your identity sort of unmade. Like, so the reason I guess I started saying some of this is that I think the reason, like, Rykard isn't dead. He exists in a way that doesn't allow him to... He doesn't have any autonomy. Open. Gonna dominate, not be dominated. So he doesn't have any autonomy, but I actually think that what Tanith is doing here, like, she kind of gets it. She could consume these pieces of Rykard, and they are still alive. They're moving, they're writhing. It could affect her in the same way that the serpent eating him did.
Oh, you... Allow me some time. Our lord's carcass is vast, and not easily consumed. Dear Rykard, please, find purchase within me. I wish to be your serpent, your family. One day, let us devour the gods together.
That's also one of the reasons I am of the opinion that primordial gold is, like, the thing that, like, I think that it is ancient dragons. Like, I think that the stone bodies of ancient dragons are, like, what they use to move around. But I have this feeling that there's, like, red gold inside of them that is their life force, and you can break their stone body apart, and as long as you keep moving, you could move this between bodies and the dragon would never die. That's why ancient dragons are immortal, quote unquote. I think that they took pieces of, you know, this primordial gold, this red gold from the ancient dragons, and they didn't kill them because they couldn't. they turned them into something else. They erased their identities. They turned them into suits of armor, into weapons. Not unlike how another god that we know was another immortal god that should have lived a life eternal was turned into a weapon, actually. Just thought of that. Where is my anchor? So yeah, well, trying to remember what the hell I was just talking about. Oh yeah, I've even actually wondered if, like, one of my crazier headcanons is that the gods in general are connected to the ancient dragons. Like, they're not just connected, related to them, like descended from them, maybe even. I think that could be how, like, the mausoleums work. There are two kinds of mausoleums, one with, like, light-colored bodies and one with black-colored bodies. And Onyx and Alabaster Lords have silver metal running through their body, making me think that it's very possible that they are animating stone bodies in similar ways, and that if you just removed the silver and added the gold and a head, which is, by the way, usually the only part left of a demigod after we kill them, if you just add those to the corpse in the mausoleum, the demigod is returned. I think that's how it's supposed to work. Oh dear, I have an arrow in my face. Can't believe you've done this. It's kind of a cool take, TBH. I've been wondering if all smithing stones are dragon scales, so I'd kind of fitting if a lot of weapons were made out of literal dragons too. Yes, I think... I'm kind of split on that, because I think that they are possibly dragon scales, but they also seem to... Actually, I'm not as split on this as I thought I was. Because I have also been of the opinion that dragons, ancient dragons, like the Onyx and Alabaster Lords, are the result of, like they came to life from falling meteorites. I think that's, you know, the primeval current is about inorganic things that live. I think that they all came from the primeval current. So I think that, you know, pretty much all of the mines that we find those stones at, I think that there's a meteorite at the end. Like, I'll go to one of those places in just a sec. There's actually a couple really cool things about some of those sites that even seems to connect them to the fire giants in some weird ways. But also, yeah, I think that it could that whole thing about them being related to the ancient dragons could help explain why Godric says, you know, "Oh dragon, thou art." I forgot what he says. He says something like, you know, he mentions how they're, like, related or something. In a weird way. Okay, so this is not a mine, but there are things like this at the end of more than just mines. This is what I believe is a meteorite that has been sort of enshrined in this way. The really interesting thing here, these symbols can be found on divine towers and around the fire giant's forge. And there are these little stones all over the inside of the divine towers. And something that I've thought about before, I mean, that looks like molten metal. Smithing used to be considered divine. These could have been like mini forges, and I think that they were using meteoric ore to create things from these forges. Because there's just so many meteorites all over the place. like all those little glowy things, I think that those are just smaller forms of meteorites. How close were the Alabaster Lords to the Golden Order, direct allies? It's really hard to tell when it comes to the Golden Order, because the Alabaster Lords, as far as we know, are only really said to be like they. Radon learned gravity magic from an Alabaster Lord in Celia. And like, so they seem to kind of have like a vague connection to Celia, and maybe the Carians, because in the behind the Carians, Bacarian Manor, there's a royal Everjail that, or it's like the Royal Grave Everjail or something, and they have an Onyx Lord imprisoned, which has kind of made me think that there might have been animosity even between the two groups. Like the Onyx Lords and Alabaster Lords might not have liked each other, especially when you think about how the Onyx Lords' gravity uses meteorites, and the powered up version of their gravity magic is Estelle's meteor, like meteors of Estelle. So like, and I think also it said something like Onyx Lords were called that because of their ability to like destroy things. So it's very possible that the Onyx Lords were like screwing up the Alabaster Lord shit. Oh, I never noticed that. Oh, that's so cool. I wish I had paused and actually taken a closer look. You can actually see those little... if you've ever seen one of my more popular YouTube videos that's about like that whole like sprite sheet, there's these couple symbols at the end that I didn't originally recognize, but I found are little symbols that are used in the Elden Ring. Like you can even see them on the main menu. You can also see them in these little great runes there. Like they're pretty consistent with using those things to create like the Elden Rings, those symbols in various rotations and stuff. Yeah, so here's the same symbols that are around the forge and the meteorites. So I think it's also possible that this was where, a meteorite was. I mean, this was probably where the forge was, but I don't know. Runes, yes. The runes. Or the Great Runes. But so yeah, I think... So like the only two things I can really connect to the Fire Giants, like, are Divine Towers. Okay, three things. Divine Towers, those weird little meteorite shrine things at the end of certain places, and the Forge, of course. Those are the only three kinds of, like, buildings or structures or physical things that I can find in the world that I feel like really connect back to something that I know is from the Fire Giants in a way that makes sense. I don't know why I'm going down here, actually. Jesus. Okay. Let's go back up to the mountaintops. But yeah, so I don't know if I got finished saying that, but basically I think that I think that smithing shards could be pieces up, because when it comes to like Elden stars, for example, it's called Elden stars, and the description is that it's a golden shower of stars. Maybe it phrases it slightly differently. But it's a shower of stars. Plural. So we know that one star was the Elden Beast. I think all of the smaller stars were ancient dragons. I think that is how the ancient dragons got here. At the very least, the final rocks are definitely made of dragon bits. Oh, yeah. Explicitly stated. Protagonist said, and in 1.0 it was like Elden Will or something. Oh, That is cool. I like that. That makes sense too, because it's, well, whatever. Greater will. I love that. Oh, shoot, I didn't even notice. Golden, yeah, it's, you know, a shower of golden stars, so it's, you know, sort of a golden shower of sorts. It's a beautiful golden shower. We should all be lucky to have a golden shower as beautiful as that. Anyway, it's 8 o'clock. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I see you guys next time and maybe talk some more lore and stars and showers and such. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.